My name is RJ LaValle, and this is the Shipkeeper's Log. I forgot to press record. Yeah, I will. All right, so 10 episodes in, and maybe you're actually wondering, what the heck are we doing on this boat? So you've seen some varnishing, you've seen over here how we've been dealing with the yards. Those are looking pretty good, particularly the gaffs over there. Those are in great condition. I've actually done some work up in the rigging. Really not too much, but could have put a couple of new blocks up there to allow us to move all the big stuff off the boat. So what else has the Shipkeeper been doing on board? Well, let's go take a look. As you know, we did a sea trial the other day, and a sea trial means we just took the boat out to make sure she floats, she doesn't leak, and the engines work, because we're not going to go under sail right now, because a lot of these things, well, here's a good little close-up, these things need some attention. These blocks need a little varnish, they need a little love, and so do a bunch of the lines. You see the seizing, that little piece right there, that could be redone. The line here does not match up with the line there. We want those things to be even, because we want the loads to be spread evenly. Not that the load's not spread evenly right now, but it's, I almost slipped down the stairs. You'd like to have everything look a little nicer. All right, so let's see if our eyes adjust down here. Do we actually see anything? Yep. All right, so down the forecastle, here we are, the forecastle. We put a bunch of sails away, but what's going on down here? We had taken up all of this stuff because, well, we have leaks coming through there. We haven't even addressed those. This wall is brand new. All this brown stuff here. It's new wood, new marine plywood that's gone in there. Let's see if I can turn the light here. Can you see this little something? There used to be, well, that toilet used to be right there. Well, it used to be on a different platform there. Now that platform has been, there used to be a shower here too, so that's been taken out. All of this stuff is, well, half of it's new. That old toilet is going to go in there, and the good folks at Mystic Seaport Museum, their shipwrights are the ones doing the bulk of that work. We're hiring one of their plumbers to come in and reinstall that toilet. And yes, I'll come back and turn off that light later. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Back up. Back above deck from the forecastle. We also had to take out all the chain out of this locker. I'm not going to bother lifting that right now. The chain that goes to, yes, these anchors are not just for show. So I had to make sure that there's enough anchor chain in those boxes just in case we need to use the anchors while we're underway. We have varnished 4 new coats of varnish all the way down to wood on what's called the cap rail here. That's this whole length, all on the top. This is the cap rail. So all that is brand new varnish from stem to stern. Stem, well, I'm going to give you guys a headache this time around. The stem is this part of the boat underneath. That's the stem. The very, very tip, the very, very bow of the boat is referred to as the stem.
Can you take a look at this? Tell me if...
Will do. This is Heidi, a new assistant. Welcome to the Shipkeeper's Log, Heidi. Heidi's going to show us some work that she's doing on an eye splice that we're going to use to be a brand new lifeline that's going to go in here. That's on top of the cap rail that was varnished, on top alongside of this edge of the aft cabin detail that has been revarnished, as well as on the side of the Salon that was varnished, and as well as the edges of this deck box, which are varnished, but now we need to paint the white because the white looks like crap. And let's take a look at this eye splice. That's fantastic. I think that's going to work well enough for what we need to do.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if I should do another weave over under, or if
Absolutely.
you like... Okay.
Typically, it's depending on the material dictates how many tucks you need to have. So this is what 3 at this point?
2 or 3, yes.
Yeah, 3. So let's do at least 4. I mean, ideally, I think we need to have 5.
Okay.
And even ideally from there, then it goes, you taper. So from 3 to 5, you taper. And that helps stop creating here we're doing a little splice or a little rigging thing. That where a line will break out of splice is typically at the hard stop. Because you have double the width going to single width. And so if you taper it, it helps reduce, or it helps gather the strain that's on the line and helps reduce chance of breakage at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right, carry on.
Thank you.
What else we have down here? What did we do down in the aft cabin? Jewish. I don't know if anything. We did find out that something way back there is stuck, and it's still stuck, and it's going to be stuck for our trip up to Hartford. This toilet is usable. Woohoo! Yep. I'm not going to say how it was used or when it was used, but that's for everybody else to use their imagination. This is the captain's quarters and for the mates. And sad to say, I actually cleaned this place up a little this morning, so you can only imagine how horrible it was before. See, that actually shows us the time. As you've seen in one of my prior episodes, I love winding that clock and hearing the chimes. And, let's see, Gary actually finished bringing down the bare wood and varnishing that wheel. And we've varnished the top of the wheelhouse. We've varnished the top of the lazarette. Varnished the top of the instrument cabinet. Yeah, there are instruments back behind here, like GPS and all that kind of stuff. And yes, installed brand new throttle controls. And varnished the top, the cover that protects those. And the cover to this, I still really haven't figured out what to call this. It goes right there. Let's call it the hatch that's in front of the electronics. Sounds good enough to me. Some of the butterfly got taken care of there. So this is all surface stuff, but all this surface stuff is really important because you let that go and the wood goes to hell, and then it's all rotting. So in this box here are brand new hydrostatic releases that go on the life rafts, that little thing there. So on all 3 life rafts, this one and the 2 that are facing forward, those hydrostatic releases are expired. So we need to fix those. And, well, not fix, just replace. And that way, if everything goes sideways and the boat sinks, the hydrostatic releases automatically cut that line and let the life rafts free, and then the life rafts we can climb into. And then the other ridiculous amount of work that's been going on board that the Mystic Seaport Museum shipwrights have been so amazingly accomplishing is redoing this entire wall. We call this a bulkhead. So this bulkhead is actually waterproof and goes all the way down to the frames that are part of the boat. Some of the stuff, I shot video of this when I first started, but it didn't really look that great, and I never did the episode, was I did the demo from this little corner all the way to here and around to here. So our galley, the counter of our galley extended from there out to right about there. So there's a wall right there. That's actually another emergency hatch. So that'll be a handhold for the emergency hatch. We'll reinstall those there. There'll be another wall right here, and inside here will be another toilet or another head, and that will end up going right about there. So that won't be in place before we go to Hartford, but it'll be one of the first things that we do as soon as we return from Hartford in October. So you'll have a sink and a toilet, but we will no longer have a shower in here, which was one of the problems that caused the rot. Another thing that caused rot is that there used to be a refrigerator right here, and that caused a lot of heat and condensation, and all of that water went down below, and fresh water and wood are a horrible combination. They cause rot. So here we are. I don't think you guys have ever seen all around the boat. So here we are in the Salon. So this is We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bunks down here, galley down here, tables for sitting around, storage down below, and a crap load of mess that I need to figure out how to make look pretty before Monday of next week. Yoo-hoo! Oh, there's the countertop that had gotten taken out for the galley, which will maybe kind of go back. And here we have lines, which will be part of the rigging. And we have, you probably saw in the forecastle some of the sails. Here's some more sails. So all the stuff that the Shipkeeper has been overseeing, I've either been directly involved with the work or overseeing the work here, and then also taking care of stuff in the engine room, and then taking care of the stuff in the forecastle, and then taking care of all of this varnishing, and then making sure that this boat is in some condition to actually get up to Hartford safely. And ideally, she'll look okay. I can't promise that she's going to look phenomenal for the 3 weeks she's in Hartford doing educational programming for the city of Hartford, but she will be better than she was at the beginning of the spring. So that's it for this episode of the Shipkeeper's Log. A long one, but I figured everybody needed to see what is it that we've been doing, what are all these parts and pieces, how do they all go together, and what is the goal. Well, the goal was part of it, what we did last week, the sea trials, but now, well, we actually have to move her. We have to move her in, well, 7 days from today. 6:15 in the morning a week from now, we'll be pushing her away from the dock and heading our way up to Hartford. We're going to try to make it one day. That's going to be a tall order, but ideally we do. If we don't, we'll do an overnight in Middletown, Connecticut, and then 3 or 4 hours the next day and be in Hartford. Up until then, this is RJ LaValle signing out. Well, okay, I've never finished one this way, so okay, how about until then, see you next time.